we were blessed with the opportunity to fish a little private fishery here, and to share the water with the guys from Bonafide. For one, it's a no pressure thing. We're not out here trying to catch monsters. We're not putting too much pressure on ourselves. We're just out here to have a good time, share some fishing stories, share the water.
Right on, Taji. Yes, son. Yes, son. Boat flipping.
He said both.
Yeah.
It's obvious that they actually are friends. They spend time together. They fish together. They don't just go to work and interact there. So, you know, it's been a different experience. Sometimes I put too much pressure on myself to go overboard with big fish and things like that. So this is a refreshing opportunity to just fish with some friends, to get to know these guys a little bit better.
Come here. Yeah. Yes. This guy crushed it using a little Z-Man swim bait. Been finding little shallow pockets with submerged grass and just bringing that swim bait right across the top of it. And they've just been hammering down, man.
Got one. Ah, dang. Yum. Snap my knot on it. That thing snapped my leader off.
I gave that one.
Ready? Go. Oh!
Yeah, go, right? Go. How's that going for you?
I don't like touching them. I moisturized this morning, and
Oh yeah.
I got a quick release button on this loose reel that I can just go. The hook straightens out.
Oh, that's what I want to talk to you about.
Nice.
Get up here. Woo! Oh yeah. Nice little fish. Caught him on a Texas rig with a chartreuse worm.
Got him?
Got him.
Stick him.
Oh, don't hit the rod tip. Don't hit the rod tip. Don't hit the rod tip. Woo. That chartreuse is killing it.
There you go.
A little double action. Yeah, Taji.
That's what's up. Can we make it a triple?
Can we make it a triple?
Pretty good fish.
Yes.
Ooh, it's a decent fish. Right, so this fish really choked that Cinco, ate it pretty quick, but it still got it down, you know, in the stomach. So I'm gonna show you guys a little trick. You need a little tension on your line. What I do is I run my finger down the actual hook shank, and I'll show you what this looks like outside the mouth. But you run your finger down the hook shank and you roll the hook on your hand. So I need to give myself a little more slack. But you basically run your finger down to the gullet, and they'll kind of pinch you with their gullet as soon as you stick your finger near it, and then you roll the finger. Okay, when I pull this out, you'll see what I did. See how that hook is on my hand? Okay, let me get this fish back in the water, and I'll show you exactly how it works. Notice how he's not bleeding. He's good to go. I'm gonna release this fish healthy. Let me show you how this works. So one of the, I don't know if you want to call it downsides to Cinco fishing. One of the things about Cinco fishing or any worm fishing is the fish have a tendency to swallow the lure.
That's what you call teamwork. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Most people pull on the line, try to go in through the gill plates, and sometimes do more harm than good. And then a lot of people just cut the hook. And I'm a big fan of trying to get the lure out if I can. So I came up with this little finger roll technique, and the way it works is say that this is hooked down inside the fish. What you want to do is run your finger down in there and get your finger against the hook point. So what happens is your finger, when you push against the hook shank, now the hook is in your finger instead of in the fish. And then you take your thumb, I'm gonna have to put this back in. You take your thumb and you simply roll it. Keep tension on the line. You roll it, well, again, you got it against your finger, okay? You're holding it. And then you've got, the fish is obviously gonna provide some support. You roll it against your hand and then the hook point pops out and you just take it out of the fish. So as long as the fish is big enough to get your hand down inside there, then you're good. The other thing you can do is come inside the gill plate, put your finger against the hook shank and roll it over your finger and do the same thing. I call it the finger roll technique. It really helps you get the hook out. It also helps you get the fish back in the water healthy. And it's also one of the main reasons that I like to use this mustad big mouth tube hook when I'm Senko fishing instead of a standard long shank or offset worm hook. And let me show you how I rig it and another reason why I like to use this particular hook. So basically what I'm doing is I'm rigging it weedless and I'm rigging it weightless. And then actually let me just take it off and show you the full setup. So what I like to do is I come in the top of the worm, the length of the transition of the hook point, and then I come out the side at a 90-degree angle, run the worm up on the hook shank, okay? And then the way that you get the worm perfect is that you pinch it with your fingers right where it's at, and then come through the worm right between your fingers. But you want to come in at a 90-degree angle so it's not at an angle, and you don't put a kink in the Senko. You don't need a kink in the Senko for it to have action. It's going to impart its own action. And then I just simply Texpose the hook, and it hangs nice and clean. But what I don't have is I don't have that edge on the front of the hook like you have with an offset worm hook. So it comes through cover, it comes through treetops, it comes through stuff really clean. But I have that extra little bit of space in there so that if you do happen to gut hook a fish, it's easier to get the hook out. So again, I'm not a big fan of the offset worm hooks for Senko fishing. I like this setup. For the most part, I like a 2 or a 3/0 hook. If I want a little extra weight to make it sink a little faster, I'll upgrade to a 5/0 hook. But for the most part, a 2 or 3/0 hook gets the job done. It allows the worm to still have the action that it's supposed to have on the fall. And a black Senko with a 2 or 3/0 mustad big mouth tube hook, for me, solves a couple of problems. It's easy to rig, it comes through cover clean, but more importantly, it's easy to get it out of the fish and keep from injuring them if they happen to, you know, swallow it. So black Senko, catch a lot of fish, but do the best you can to keep them healthy. We're doing a professional tree extraction.
His form's a little off, a little bit more of a dangle.
All right, guys, so I'd like to give you some kind of clever tip or some ingenious solution for getting your lure unhung from the tree once you're hung up. But really, this is one of those situations where it's more like an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So the best way to do it is just don't cast into the tree.
Come here, baby. Come here. Yes. Whew. Love it. That's a good one right there. If you've never checked out the Yak Attack leverage landing net, you need to. You're missing out. This thing does wonders. I'm gonna get a quick measurement. See what we're working with, if he'll cooperate. Come here, buddy. 15 3/4. It's not a huge fish. Get him back in the water. Man.
They're chewing the chatterbait. There we go. There we go. Yeah, that's a better fish. Yeah. I love it when they bulldog a heavy rod. Look at that chunk, man. They're not giants, but man, are they freaking aggressive. And are they ever freaking chewing this chatterbait. God, that thing is like a little square. Look at the belly on that thing. Look at the back. It's like a swimming mussel with the tail. Yeah. Let's get that guy back in the water. Match the forage, find the fish, food, oxygen, temperature. It's 74-degree water temperature. I'm in 11 foot of water. I didn't fish here yesterday. There was a steep bank that I completely overlooked. It was because I was trying to divide and conquer and stay away from those other guys. But man, when you've got rising temperatures post-spawn, those fish are going to find that deeper water to relate to, but shallow water that they can move up to and feed. And they're pushing the shad against this bank. I like it. Whoa. Ooh. Dude, this is a sleigh ride. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. That is a freaking toad. Oh yes. Go. Look at this. Oh my God, come here, dude. Yeah, baby. Oh, God, what a freaking toad. Man. Let's find out what this dude weighs, because this is a freaking slaunch donkey right there. Just shy of 8 pounds. Just a little shy of 8. Look at that thing. He felt a lot bigger than that when he hit. All right, guys, so I said I wasn't feeling pressure to catch big fish. I didn't say I didn't want to catch one. The chatterbait was king today. I put that big dude in the boat. That fish was a little under 8 pounds. And let me tell you what was the key to catching that fish. I made a drift down this bank when the wind was blowing me, and I was watching my graph. And every time I passed over something that was just offshore in 8 foot, 10 foot of water, I would mark a waypoint. I only found 2 pieces of significant cover on that entire bank. I paddled around, I backed off, I used my waypoint as an electronic buoy, I made a cast, I let it fall to the bottom, I slow reeled that chatterbait through that treetop. Biggest fish of the day, biggest fish of the trip, and that happens consistently when I'm using my electronics and I'm using it for situational awareness. So I trust Lowrance Electronics for helping me see below the surface and figure out the fishery. I promise you, if you invest in quality electronics, it'll make a difference in your fishing. It'll put more fish in the boat, and it'll definitely put more big fish in the boat. So I'm Chad Hoover with Kayak Bass Fishing. I'll see y'all next week. Thank you for the support, and yeah, love it when a plan comes together. Now y'all go fishing and stop watching me.